Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 2020 Spring Sports Recognition. Today you're going to meet 9 outstanding head coaches as they recognize their athletes and what they mean to this community and what they mean to our high school. We want to meet our seniors this evening and honor them and let them know how much we appreciate what they've meant to us. So at this time, let's go ahead and begin. Let's start with Coach Shaw and his swimmers.
I'm the swim coach for Big Spring High School. The season was a pretty good season. After a 2-year absence, we were actually able to advance swimmers to the regional meet. We had a pretty good sized team, largely composed of freshmen, a very big freshman class that, despite their age, did very well. Just like go through and introduce each of these varsity swimmers, we had freshman Smith Kate, who was a diver, freshman Brene Cook, who swam butterfly and was a mid-distance swimmer. Freshman Morgan Griffith, who did a little bit of everything, specializing mainly in sprints. Freshman Brooklyn Heffel, a sprinter and backstroker, also a regional qualifier and this year's letterman. We had freshman Sapphire Martinez, who was a sprinter. Freshman Jada Overton, who is a mid-distance as well as a sprinter. She was also a regional qualifier and a letterman. Freshman Toby Phillips, who was one of our divers. Freshman Naomi Reyes, who was a regional qualifier and letterman, specializing in, well, a little bit of everything, but breaststroke and butterfly. She was our breaststroker on our girls 200-yard relay that qualified for regionals. You also had freshman Teresa Rios, who was a regional qualifier and letterman, swimming backstroke in our 200-yard medley relay. We had freshman David Summers, who was mainly a sprinter and also specialized in breaststroke. Freshman Malachi Vaughn, also another regional qualifier and letterman, first girl to qualify for diving for Big Spring in over a decade. And then she also swam our freestyle leg on the 200 medley relay. We also had junior Emmett Lozano, and then we have 2 seniors this year. We have senior Evan Adelsberger. Evan has been swimming for me personally since he moved here in 6th grade. He swam several years for me on our club team, and he was one of the first swimmers to swim for our junior high team when we began it 6 years ago. He has done a lot for the program, helping me with a number of different things over the years. He's an incredibly talented swimmer and athlete. He came back from an injury this year. At the beginning of the year, this past summer, he actually broke 3 vertebrae in his back and was able to come back from that this year. Did an amazing job. He was actually able to come back all the way to where he was as far as times as he was last year when we finished our season last year. We also have senior Nancy Rose Pope. She was also a regional qualifier and a letterman. She swam the butterfly for our 200 medley relay. Nancy has also been swimming for me since she was in junior high. She was part of the inaugural junior high swim team, and she's been there every year since. She's been a very important part of our swim program. Her and Evan both were team captains, and they're going to be hard to replace. As far as next year, we have a lot of freshmen that will be coming back. We have another big freshman group coming up from the junior high, and I expect that our season will be even more successful than it has been in the last couple of years.
Thank you, Coach Shaw. Now we're ready to hear from Coach Jones and his tennis players.
Hello, I'm Big Spring Steer tennis coach Jeremy Lundeen. The following players participated this year as freshmen: Olivia Alexson, Jason Bishop, Hayden Cheney, Wyatt Cornish, Alexia Davis, Itzel Garcia Marquez, Alex James, Eric Lundeen, Nanya Limaya, Kaylee Mundell, Miranda Prieto, Jasenia Roberts, and Lexi Rodriguez. They all received valuable playing experience this year, which is one of the main things that they need to get as freshmen. Aiden Cheney, Eric Lundeen, and Itzel played at the varsity level during team tennis in the fall. Aiden in singles, Eric and Nanya in mixed doubles, and Itzel in singles. Big Spring freshmen won many medals during the shortened spring semester and will play a valuable part of next year's team.
Hello, I'm the Big Spring Steer tennis coach, and the following players participated in the sophomore year. Hannah and Hayden Bell, Xander Bishop, Savannah Cantrell, Paris Castaneda, Matthew Dahl, Elisa Gonzalez, Emily Kozak, Natalie Lopez, Juliana Nava-Wilborn, Timothy Ontiveros, and Sean Tan. The sophomore class gained value experience this year and will greatly continue to succeed next year's team. Elisa Gonzalez played number 2 singles and number 1 doubles during the fall team tennis season. Natalia Lopez played number 4 singles and number 2 doubles. Emily Kozak played number 5 singles and number 3 doubles. Hayden Bell and Emily Medina won all 4 titles in girls doubles before a shortened spring season ended their streak. All the other sophomores won medals and will continue to achieve success next year. The following players participated in this year's as juniors: Isabel Alaskan, Felicia Daya, Ransom Collette, Gage Humphreys, Emily Medina, Brooklyn Mojica, Ishan Patel, Emily Reyes, Zach Villa, and Z Wang. Isabel Alaskan and Zach Villa fit the mixed doubles role in the fall team tennis. Felicia Daya and Emily Reyes played number 3 doubles, and Ransom Collette played number 4 singles and number 2 doubles. Brooklyn Mojica played number 4 singles and number 2 doubles with Natalia Lopez. All of our juniors won medals this spring.
I am Steer tennis coach Dana Jones, and I'd like to recognize all the players from the fall all-district team tennis team, and then I will go on to our seniors. Our varsity team tennis team finished the fall with a 6-2 record, and we did very, very well. Named to the all-district team were as follows: Isabella Alexson, Ransom Collette, Felicia Daya, Blade Franks, Nick Gomez, Elisa Gonzalez, Damian Hudi, Katie Humphreys, Emily Kosak, Natalia Lopez, Brooklyn Mojica, Marissa Salazar, Emily Reyes, Seth Rios, Ed Urias, and Zach Vela. Now on to our seniors. 5 of our top 6 boys and 2 of our top 6 girls will graduate this year. Our juniors, sophomores, and freshmen will have to really step up next year. There will be lots of opportunity for playing time, but they have big shoes to fill. Our seniors have been an outstanding group, and I and all the other coaches will personally miss them. First one is Blade Franks. Blade played number 1 singles and number 1 doubles with Nick Gonzalez during fall team tennis. He was named to the all-district team tennis team in both singles and doubles. He played number 1 mixed doubles in the spring with Marissa Salazar. I had great hope of their chances of going to the state tournament. Blade is very athletic and has a quick wit, almost as quick as me. Nick Gomez played number 2 singles and number 1 doubles with Blade Franks in the fall team tennis season. Nick and Blade were district champions in boys doubles last year. Nick was named to the all-district team tennis team in both singles and doubles. And he and Ed Urias were playing number 1 boys doubles when our spring season ended early, and they were contenders in every tournament they played in. I think they had a legitimate chance to advance in the regional tournament and move on to the state tournament. Damian Hudi played number 5 singles and number 3 doubles during the fall team tennis season. Damian was named to the all-district team tennis team in both singles and doubles. Damian always worked very hard and was a very energetic player. He and Seth Rios were the number 2 doubles team this spring and won several medals during our short season. Katie Humphreys played her freshman and sophomore years in Big Spring and then moved to San Antonio for her junior year. We were lucky to get her back for her senior year, and she was a great addition to our lineup. Katie played number 6 singles and some at number 3 doubles. Katie was named to the all-district team tennis team in singles. She was playing the number 2 singles slot this spring when our season was shortened. Seth Rios really came on this year and played number 6 singles and number 3 doubles with Damian Hudi. He was the only Steer tennis player to be named first team All-District in team tennis and in both singles and doubles. Seth was playing the number 1 doubles slot in the spring with Damian Hedy when the season ended. Marissa Salazar played number 1 singles and number 1 doubles in fall team tennis. She was named to the All-District team tennis team in both singles and doubles. She and Blade Franks were playing the number 1 mixed doubles slot in the spring and were contenders for the title in every tournament they played in. Marissa was also named to the All-State Academic Tennis Team and is ranked number 11 in her graduating class. Ed Urias. Ed played number 3 singles and number 2 doubles with Ransom Collette during the fall team tennis season. He was named to the All-District team tennis team in both singles and doubles, and he was also named to the All-State Academic Tennis Team, and he is ranked number 5 in his graduating class. Seniors this year were a really fun bunch. I will miss them. They worked very hard. They were fun to be around. We had a lot of good times, a few crazy times, but anyway. So I appreciate all your contributions to our team over the last 4 years, and good luck in the future to all our seniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Jones. And now we're ready for our powerlifters and Coach Roberts.
Hello, everyone. This is Coach Roberts with Big Spring Powerlifting. I am, unfortunately, we had to cut the season short as well. Even though we were able to get our regional meets in, we unfortunately were not able to go to the state meet. Today I'm going to talk about all the lifters that were involved in the program this year. I had up to 45 lifters, which is astounding, the number of lifters we had this year. We had 63 show up the first day, and then we had 45 actually compete in the meet this year, which is pretty remarkable considering 2 years ago, Coach McWilliams and I only had 26 kids total. And then this year we were able to fill out a boys and girls team twice, which has really never been done in Big Spring, which is pretty remarkable. We welcome the kids coming out, and we love it. We want more kids to come out. The more involved, the better. Powerlifting is not for the faint of heart. It's practices start at 6:30 in the morning. They run to 7:30 every day, and the grueling workouts that the kids took part in really taxed them. Sometimes kids would go into powerlifting meets sore, and that's just the way it had to be. We had 5 invitational meets this year, which we were able to get through all our invitational meets this year. As a team, the 2020 season was one of the most successful team seasons in recent memory for Big Spring Powerlifting. The boys alone captured 3 team titles and 2 second-place finishes at the 5 meets this year, which is outstanding. The boys, by themselves, broke every record in the book that Big Spring Powerlifting has ever had. 3 team titles and 2 top 2 finishes. So all 5 meets they placed in the top 2 and they were in contention. The girls' side, which was the first time, actually had more than the required number of girls for a team, actually captured one team title and never placed outside the top 4, which is remarkable considering not even 2 years ago, we only had 6 girls lifting total. And now we have 24, which is really remarkable. On the boys' side, we had 11 regional qualifiers. And then on the girls' side, we also had 11 regional qualifiers. Just to give you a little disclaimer there, a full boys team is 11 boys, and a full girls team is 12 girls. So we basically carried a full team to regionals, which is very unheard of. We also had a state qualifier on the girls' side as well, and I will get into that a little bit later. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to start with the freshman team and then work my way up. There is no JV and varsity in powerlifting. There is just one team. Now, if you do take two teams, some kids will not be counted in the final score towards Big Springs points, but they will be counted in what they call a Big Spring B. But there is no JV or varsity squad. Everybody is varsity or nothing, okay? Starting with the freshmen, we're going to start with the boys and then the girls. We have Leroy Johnson. He was a regional qualifier, and he actually placed 9th at the regional meet. We had Connor Andre. He was also a regional qualifier, and he placed 10th at the regional meet. We had Philip Martinez, Arturo Ortiz, and Raleigh Eddington. And then on the girls' side in the freshman class, we had Valerie Hernandez, Adelie Hernandez, Giselle Hoguin, Evelyn Sanchez, and she was actually a regional qualifier, and she placed 11th. Then we had Cayenne Johnson and April Caldwell, and they were both regional qualifiers as well. The freshman class I'm very proud of because that was the most freshmen we ever had come out for a class. And that was the most freshmen we've ever had qualify for a regional meet. Very, very impressed with how what their work ethic was, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them. Moving on to my sophomore class, we had Sonny Ledesma, Carl Karabanoff, Derek Howard, Ryan Jocelyn, Kenny Richardson, which he was a regional qualifier, and he placed 6th at the regional meet, and Derek Howard. And on the girls' side in the sophomore class, we had Amazonique Green. She was a regional qualifier. She was not able to lift due to an injury in track. Natalie Lopez, Kylan Roberts, Abby Delgado, Zylene Walker, and Janiyah Johnson. Zylene placed 7th at the regional meet, and she is now on the up and up. She had a tremendous year. And then Janiyah Johnson, this is her second time qualifying for regionals. This is second time in 2 years. She is a regional qualifier, and she placed 4th at the meet. Moving on to my junior class. This is the one where I had the most regional qualifiers. Maddox Evans, he's a regional qualifier. He placed 5th. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, his 3rd consecutive regionals to go to. Josh Lopez, he placed 4th. Josh had a little bit of an adventure this year. This is the first time he has competed in the 148s. He competed in the 132s the previous couple years, and he's actually qualified for regionals all 3 years as well. Josh is impressive, and the fact that he weighs 145 pounds and deadlifts 500 pounds. Okay? Just to give you the context in that, the next closest deadlift at the meet was 450 pounds in his weight class. So Josh is on the up and up, and the reason Josh is a regional qualifier is his lifting partner, Sean Mendoza, who is also a regional qualifier. Those two work hand in hand together, and those two push each other to reach goals that they probably wouldn't meet without each other. We had Marcus Melendez. He was a move-in, and he actually competed in the powerlifting team this year. I'm very proud of the way he competed. Isaiah Johnson, Kevin Rodriguez, Rogelio Cervantes, he was a regional qualifier. In his first year, he placed 8th. Isaiah Rodriguez, very proud of the young man. He's finally starting to realize how strong he actually is. He was a regional qualifier, and he placed 8th as well. Then on the girls' side, we had Alyssa Pullins. She was a regional qualifier, but due to weight constraints, she was not able to lift. Just to give you a little pause on that, if whatever weight you qualify as is what you have to lift as at the regional meet. And due to track and everything, she had gained weight, and we felt that it was not necessary for her to lift to affect her track season. We had Rebecca Moore. We had Stephanie Young. She was a regional qualifier. She placed 7th at the meet. We had Ashlyn Calvio. She was a regional qualifier. And then we had Janae Caldwell as well. Then we had Jocelyn Gonzalez. Let me just tell you a little story about Jocelyn Gonzalez. She was working out with the softball team one day, and I know Coach Jordan will hate me for this. I asked her to join the powerlifting team, and she looked at me and said, "Let me talk to my dad, and we'll get it figured out." Next thing you know, she shows up to every morning practice, and she puts in an extreme amount of work to be the best of what she is. And let me just tell you, she came in 2nd at the regional powerlifting meet, and she came within one deadlift of winning the regional meet. She is actually a regional qualifier and a state qualifier. She is our only state qualifier this year. Very impressive considering this is her first year lifting in powerlifting. Powerlifting is a little bit different than lifting in the weight room, but very impressive to watch Jocelyn Gonzalez grow into what she was. She actually broke 3 records: the squat, the deadlift, and the total record for her weight class, which is very impressive considering this is her first year ever lifting in powerlifting. Now, on to the senior class. Start with Cruz Martinez. What can I say about Cruz besides he's the most laid-back, strongest kid I've ever met in my life. He's been in the 123-pound weight class, and he qualifies for regionals. He's qualified for regionals all 3 years I've been here. He is a hard worker, and he is a cool cat, and I'm very proud of the way he lifted this year, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. Dusty Chavez, this is his first year lifting and powerlifting. Very, very proud of him. He stepped out of his comfort zone and to get stronger, and very impressive. He just happened to lift in probably the hardest weight class, the 148. Jeremiah Collins, same with him. He happened to lift in the hardest weight class, the 148s. Jeremiah Collins came to practice with the most energy I've ever seen of a kid. It's like he was on 12 cups of coffee before he walked through the door. You knew what you were going to get with him, and he was always going to bring everything he had to everything he did. We had Andrew Roberts. He was a regional qualifier as well, and he actually placed 4th at the regional meet, and he actually broke the bench record in his weight class, the 275s, with the bench of 400 pounds. Then we had Daniel Roberts. He was a regional qualifier, and he placed 6th at the meet. Very impressed with how Daniel grew this year, because last year he did not qualify for regionals, and he used that as motivation to qualify this year. Then we had Zachary Roberts. Very proud of how he's grown up. His squat, deadlift, and bench have increased significantly, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for all of the seniors on the boys' side. Very, very proud of them. They were sophomores when I first started coaching powerlifting, and I'm just excited to see how they grow. On the girls' side, we had Olivia Bancroft. She was a regional qualifier, and she placed 5th at the meet. What can I say about Olivia except that I'm not going to lie, I had doubts. But when she showed up and she put the work in and she knew what she needed to do to become a good powerlifter, she did it. No questions asked. She lifted the weights, she got better, she got stronger, and then she started competing. Almost every meet she lifted in, she placed in the top 5, which is very, very impressive. Then last but not least, Alani Torres. Alani Torres, regional qualifier. She was probably the leader of the girls' side. She was the silent leader. She's the one that led by example. She wasn't going to yell at anybody. She wasn't going to raise her voice, but she was going to put the work in, and she expected everyone else to put the work in as well. Very, very proud of all of the lifters this year. We had 45 lifters compete in the meet this year. Some of them competed in one, some of them competed in a couple. And just knowing that the constraints that we've had with powerlifting, I'm very proud of all the kids, how they kept up with the work ethic, and they were able to lift at a powerlifting meet this year. In closing, I would like to thank all the parents that helped us with the Big Spring Powerlifting meet that we held at the beginning of the year. Just to name a few: Michael Richardson, Neil and Kay Roberts, Haley Roberts, my wife, very instrumental in putting that on. You can't. Everybody sees the powerlifting meet and the 260 lifters we have, but you don't see the 60 workers we have behind the scenes. All the table workers that helped me, to principals at the junior high, Mrs. Otto, and Coach Lane and Mrs. Tubb for allowing us to use the junior high again to host the powerlifting meet. It's a fantastic venue, and we can hope to continue doing that. To the administration, we have, how many superintendents do you know will get out there on the powerlifting floor and call kids up and coach kids in powerlifting? Believe it or not, Mr. McWilliams is a powerlifting junkie, and he loves it. He gets certified in his judges test every year, and he loves powerlifting as much as anybody. I'd like to thank Coach Cannon for stepping in at the Andrews meet and helping us as well, and Mr. Ritchie for backing us the whole year and giving us everything we needed, even when we roll it back on that one. I'd like to thank Mr. Ritchie for giving us everything that we needed, whether it be new suits, new belts, new wraps. He was always there, and he would rise to the call and find a way for us to get the stuff that we needed to equip our kids to be the best that they could be. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. Everybody, again, thank you. The 2020 Big Spring powerlifting season was a successful one. Like I said, we did not get to finish the season. Jocelyn was very disappointed. She did not get to go to state, but just being a state qualifier in her first year of lifting is a accomplishment in itself. So thank you, everybody. Go Steers.
Thank you, Coach Roberts. And now we're ready to hear from our girls basketball coach, Coach Jim.
Hi, my name is Coach Jim. This is my first year at Big Spring High School and at the helm of the girls basketball program. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of the girls and their parents for all of their dedication and their hard work throughout the season. It's definitely not a short season, and it goes through some major holidays. So first and foremost, thank you so much for your support, your time, and your dedication. Second of all, I would like to thank my coaching staff, which has been phenomenal. It was my first year here. Coach Bright, Coach Dunn, Coach Randolph, and Coach Allen, you guys have been nothing but phenomenal with assisting with the day-to-day task and seeing the vision of which we want the program to go. Your hard work and dedication do not go unnoticed, and I just want to thank you guys for everything that you guys do for this program and for the girls. So again, much kudos to you guys, and you guys rock. And to recap our 2019-2020 season, it was definitely not the ending that we wanted, but I can definitely say that we ended on a high note compared to the beginning of the season. We did start off a little rocky, and that's expected of learning a whole new system. I think mid-season, we finally kind of got our groove and finding our personnel at each level. There's a lot of new offensive strategy and a lot of new defensive strategies that were thrown at the girls, which I'm very proud of how they handled it and how they progressed each and every day, week to week, month to month. So that makes this off season even more exciting, as we will be more familiar with each other, and they will be more familiar with the skill sets and the terminology. So that makes me super excited for next year, and I look forward to the off season and to get started again. And let's start off with our freshman team, which consists of Maria Villalobos Martinez, Eileen Arroyo, Kisa Kate, Kristen Bermia, Anelli Mendez, Miranda Young, Courtney Moore, and Taylor Partlow. Fun bunch of girls to watch, very scrappy and athletic. They play with their hearts on their chest every game, and I cannot wait to see the progression that they make down the road. But they did a great job this season, again, from progressing from day one to the end of the season. So very exciting futures for all of them. And the JV team, which consists of Mallory Paul, Alex Enriquez, Mia Bustamante, Abby Delgado, Anika Delgado, Savannah Zagara, Alani Mendez, Emily Matthews. Again, they did not start off with the same team. A lot of our girls did move up and down throughout the season. But I think mid-season to the end of the season, this JV bunch, again, was fun to watch. They're very athletic. The size that we have is definitely going to help us down the road. Again, I'm very proud of our JV squad. And to end with our varsity squad, which we are very young, and which consists of our freshmen, Elena Arredondo, Cadence Canales, Jalen Sykes, and Denia Ryder. Sophomores Tristan Smith, Maya Blanco, and Ryan Terrazas. Our lone junior, Jacqueline Ballou, and our three seniors, Baylor Trevino, Madison Kirkendall, and Trinity Galloway. And which I would love to send a special shout out to our seniors, and thank you for all of your dedication and your hard work and your leadership. It wasn't only noticed on the court, but also off of the courts. Anything I asked of you guys went above and beyond, showing that dedication and buying into the program from day one. Like I said before, I wish I had you guys another year, but I wish all the best to you guys. You guys have a bright future ahead of you, and much love to you guys. And thank you for everything that you have done for our program. Some of the special accolades that we've got, superlatives in our district, our 3 seniors made the first team all district, which was Madison, Kirkendall, Baylor Trevino, and Trinity Galloway. We also had 3 members on the second all district team, which was Tristan Smith, Jacqueline Ballou, and Zendania Ryder. Like I said, I wish our season went a little longer, but I am so proud and happy in which the program is going. And I cannot wait until next season. Please stay tuned, and thank you everyone for all of your support. We are excited for next year, and we hope to see you throughout the season. And I would also like to thank our manager, Savannah Rowlands, for all of the hard work she did for us throughout the year, from filming and the day-to-day task. Thank you so much again, Savannah, and we hope to have you again next year.
Thank you, Coach Jim. And now let's hear from our boys head basketball coach, Coach Heiss.
Hello, welcome to our virtual sports banquet. I'm excited about this. It's a sad way to do this, but I think in the long run, it's going to be a good thing. We get to recognize our kids and recognize our season the way it should be, the way we always have done it, just in a little different scenario. I'd like to start off by saying how our season went. I was very pleased with our season. Ever since I've been here, we talked about building a platform or a base and being able to continue to move up, and every year we've done that. This year we took a little step, but it was a step forward. We ended the season with 19 wins. We went to the playoffs, got beat by Burke, but we played really good in that game, just was a little bit outmatched. As far as the season goes, there were lots of highlights. We started off with a bang. We had a little injury trouble on the varsity, and it was just a good season. Gonna miss our seniors. We'll talk about those here in a little bit, and we're gonna highlight some stuff that happened to our kids that is positive and just a good thing to recognize these guys because they deserve it. Starting off with our freshman group, they were coached by Coach Moss. They ended up being second place in the district, going 6-2 in district. Had a good season, very proud of them. Really thought they overachieved for the whole season. Want to recognize these kids: Cade Bryans, Derek Wallach, Ricky Escovedo, Taylor Palmer, Nick Garcia, Kareem Rayford, Samuel King, Josh Gonzalez, Connor Miller, Luke Greathouse, Caden Kitchens, Eli Kobos, Tristan Labar, and Damian Rios. This group, they started off kind of slow. They got stuck in a varsity tournament in Westbrook, probably a little bit outmatched. Fought hard, was in some close games. And that's kind of played over our heads and with some tougher competition before district. But when we got to district, it really paid off playing that tougher competition. They ended up going 6-2 in district and getting some big wins over some teams that we will continue to have in district and continue to move forward with a bunch of guys that I expect may can even help us in the near future, maybe be on varsity next year. I'm excited about it. They work hard. They have good off seasons, to the off season that we can have. It's going to be a good year for some of them guys. Our JV roster, they were coached by Coach Tuttle, and once again, Coach Tuttle has a tough gig there. He has our JV kids, which consist of sophomores and juniors, and really, if they're good, they move up to varsity, and if they need to continue to work, then they stay with him. Then he also has to assist me in the varsity practices. But he's a good one, and it'd be hard to do it without him. We really appreciate everything that him and Moss does. That roster that we have is Q Lewis, Frederick Rubio, Aaron Yanez, Isaiah Johnson, Malachi Renteria, Jose Arispe, Brandon Montanez, Xavier Knox, Jeremy Fawcett, and Sean Serta, Ted Diaz, and Jeremy Perez. This group, like I said just a while ago, they fought hard, they played good, they played in varsity tournaments. It was the first time that we've done that, where we stuck our JV group in all, except for the Denver City tournament, they only played in varsity tournaments. They went to Borden County, competed well, and beat some varsity teams. And they went to Anson out of the Christmas break. It was a tough scenario for them, played some really good teams, and lost but to some really, really good varsity teams that went to the playoffs and made deep runs. And they played them close. So I was very, very proud of them. I was very proud of Tuttle and how he handled them guys. Like I said, it's always tough for him because he kind of has to jump. He has to jump around and do some stuff that makes it harder to prepare for them JV guys. The last one I want to talk about is our varsity. Like I said a while ago, we've continued to move up, and every year's gotten better. First year I was here, we had 7 wins. Then we went to 18 wins, and this year we had 19 wins. This year we did some stuff a little bit different. We went to some tournaments that were a long ways away. We went to Mineral Wells, had a great tournament. Went to Brownwood. It was another great tournament. Both of those are tournaments where we stayed the night, trying to prepare in case we get to that level where we get to stay the night in a regional tournament or state tournament. Fell a little short of our goal. A bunch of our kids, their goal was to get to 20 wins and win a couple games in the playoffs. Fell a little short of that. Had a tough matchup in the first round, but as far as our kids, we're young. We had 6 sophomores on varsity and 4 juniors. We had 4 seniors as well. Had 1 freshman at the end that kind of jumped back and forth between the freshman group and the varsity group. Being young was a good thing, and it's going to continue to be beneficial for those guys because they're going to continue to move up, and all those sophomores will be juniors, and we'll hopefully be loaded and experienced in the varsity level because we've played so many varsity games, whether it's summertime or during the season, with those guys. Very proud of them. First thing I want to talk about is our seniors. I have 4 seniors that need to be recognized. It's been part of the program for the 3 years that I've been here. 2 of them have been three-year starters for me, and one was a two-year varsity letter, and then one that came this year. And he's been part of the program for 3 years, but made varsity and did a really great job. We're going to start with Abel Clark. He's been a captain for us now for 3 years. Just does a good job. He's done a great job for us. I've always called him Mr. Fundamental. He ended up being first team in district. Had a great season in basketball. Ended up last year was also first team and ended up just continuing that progression and doing a great job on and off the floor. He's a kid that really maintains high A's. And just a great role model for kids, has a good work ethic, and it's going to be hard to replace him. Abel's a kid that my kids look up to, and at the same time he's just a blessing to have around. A great kid that's done a good job the 4 years that he's been in high school, 3 years for me, and he's going to be hard to replace, and a great, like I said, a great outstanding young kid that's going to go on and play football at the next level and deserves it because he works hard and deserves everything that he gets. The next one that we're going to go to is Zephaniah Nelson. Zephaniah Nelson has been a 3-year varsity player for us and has started a lot of games. Zeph, another great kid. That when I talk about kids that are on our varsity, that's one thing that I've always been proud of is everybody that's on our varsity. I wouldn't have a problem with my kids being around them. We do team meals and team dinners, and he's always been a huge part of that. I don't know that he's ever missed anything that we've ever done as far as practice, off the court, on the court, going to elementaries and reading books to kids. You know, he's one of the first one that's always there. Just a great leader, great role model, and how you want not only the kids in our program to act, but the kids in our entire school. Zeph, he's been our point guard. He's done a great job leading our team. He was also a captain this year. Done some extraordinary things throughout the 3 years that I've had him, and will be very hard to replace. We're going to definitely miss him in that aspect, just being a good leader, a good shooter, and a good role model for our kids. The third one has been a two-year player, Gabriel Gomez. He's a great kid. Didn't really know. I thought this year he came in and just really overachieved. He ended up probably being our one of our best shooters on the team, and it really kept us in a lot of games in district. He decided to play football this year, and it was a great thing. He came back from football season and it really progressed him, because where he was so strong coming out of that it really helped him on the rebounding and really just taking a bump and being able to play defense the way we need to play defense. But he was a great add-in to this year. Knew he was going to be on varsity, but continued to progress and just did a great job all year long. Once again, he is one of those kids that will be missed. He was a great role player for us. Could step in and shoot, could defend, guard a 1 through a 5. Just a great kid, and has done an extraordinary job in the 3 years in the program. He's been part of the program for 3 years that I've been here, and being on the varsity for 2 years. He's done a great job stepping up and doing great things for us, and we will truly miss him as well. The next one that we have is a kid that made varsity this year. He was been on JV the 2 years before that, but Dylan Guzman. Dylan Guzman is a great kid, straight A kid. He's going to go into the Army, and if that tells you anything, tells you kind of where his work ethic and stuff is. He stepped up this year and was able to be on varsity because of that work ethic, and I'm going to miss him, because we strive to have the work ethic that he has. He's done a great job for 3 years, continuing to build himself and being able to continue to advance to make it to the varsity program. He's a great role model, great leader. I expect him to do great things in his life, and once again, he's one of those kids that, out of the 4 seniors, he will be missed, man. He's just a good one, and we will miss him. Now we're going to go from the younger ones to the juniors. We had one kid make it on varsity this year as a freshman. Derek Wallach has a good future ahead of him. Derek is a kid that works hard in the off season, has good off season, plays lots of basketball throughout the summer and fall and spring. Can't wait to see what he has to bring to the table for the next 2 or 3 years. I saw him the other day, and he had a great growth spurt, and just no telling what the future holds for him. He stepped up in the playoff game and made a couple shots. Very proud of him. Just hope he continues to progress and see what future has in store for him, because I feel like as a freshman making varsity, it's a great thing, and he has some future ahead of him that could be really, really good. Going on to the sophomore classes, that we had 6 sophomores on varsity. Saquon Pfizer, great kid, work ethic's good, straight basketball kid this year. Didn't know if he was going to be on varsity. Did some fall ball stuff, and after about the 3rd game, I was like, you know what? There's no way I can't have him on varsity. He's going to have a huge role for us and be able to really step in and do some good things, and he did. So I can't say enough good things about him. And as a sophomore, and the whole sophomore class, they're going to have a great future ahead of them the next 2 years. The next one is Javarius Ford. Javarius Ford's two-year varsity player. He's done a great job for us. He's kind of calm, cool, and collected. That's the one thing good about him. You know what you're going to get. He's never going to do too much to get himself in a bad situation. He's a very smart basketball player, and that's the reason he's been on varsity for 2 years as a sophomore. I look forward to having him make some huge strides in some shooting and being able to step up big and replacing some of these guys that we're losing. Gavin Grayhouse, another one of those kids that had been on varsity for 2 years. Gavin this year had a huge step up in point production. Had some big moments where he hit some big shots. And Gavin's made it on varsity for 2 years because he's known for his defense. He's about 5'9", 5'10" maybe, and he can lock up anybody. I love to watch him play defense. It kind of gives you the base of what we want to hold our shoulders on, hold our hats on, and kind of how we want to play defense. Gavin's a great kid, just does a great job on the basketball floor, and will continue to have a great 2 years ahead of him. I'm excited about the future for him. The next one is Kagan Mitchell. Kagan Mitchell, varsity player this year, had started some games for us. Great kid, great work ethic, does a good job, good leader, very vocal. He would probably be what I would consider our vocal leader on the team. A lot of kids listen to him. As far as the team goes, he's the one that when I need something said to somebody, he's the one he's not afraid to do it, and that's big for a sophomore, and I expect him to take step into that leadership role and potentially be a captain moving forward and just doing really good things for us in the future. Last sophomore that we got, Chris Martinez. Chris Martinez, one of probably our best shooters on the team. He had some struggles through the year, but as far as a basketball player, I'm looking forward to seeing what Chris has coming up for us, because Chris is a great basketball player. His IQ of the game is tremendous. He probably has one of the best IQs that I've ever coached in a basketball as a point guard as a basketball player. That's our point guard. He sees the floor so well and has had a really, really fast step. Continues to work. There's no telling what he can do for us. He's a good kid, and I think with these 6 sophomores that we have, I think there's some big, huge steps and gains that we can take that next step to not only just making it to the playoffs, but winning several playoff games with these guys. That sophomore class is a great class, and looking forward to coaching them for the next 2 years. Then we go to our juniors. Elijah Darrow had a heck of a season. He started off kind of on JV. I think he was averaging like 24 points a game on JV, and then ended up moving to the varsity when district started, right before district in that Christmas tournament. As district was about to happen, he ended up breaking his ankle and kind of had some setbacks just a little bit. But he was moving forward in the right direction and doing a great job for us, doing his role and playing a good part in the team. Elijah Darrow is a huge kid, and he's going to be very, very where we want to go with having a big guy. Can't wait to see what he comes back from football like, being strong, having a good season in football, and then coming to basketball and just doing a great job for us in the role that he has for us. DeCorian Gordon, great basketball player and good to the team. We missed him throughout the middle of the district. Had some issues that we had to take care of. But when Duck was there, he was he made the game a lot easier for a lot of our other guys. He's a guy that can get to the hole whenever we need him to. He's smart. He's another kid that can lock down a 1 through a 4. A great athlete, maybe one of the best athletes in the school. Just needs to continue to do what's right, make good grades, and the future's bright for him. He could definitely go to the next level and play. Just needs to get his head on straight and make sure that everything that we do is for the team, and he will continue to do a great job and help us out in the basketball program tremendously. The next one I have is Orlando Sanchez. Orlando Sanchez is a great role player for us. comes off the bench. His job is to hit 2 big shots a game, not anything too much, and try to get about nine rebounds a game. He does a great job in his role. He'll have to step up in his role moving forward. Needs to do some good things off the court during the summer to help him out in the shooting aspect. But, as far as this year, he did a tremendous job in what we asked him to do. I could not be more proud of Orlando Sanchez. And he's going to help us go moving forward. He's got a potential to step into one of them starting spots and be a big guy for us that we need, that can hit big shots and guard a 5 because he's so strong. The next one that we have is Alex Lushner. Alex Lushner also was like Elijah Darrow. He started off on JV, had a tremendous JV stint, and then came up to varsity. Had some big minutes for us in the playoff game and some of the district games. Alex will definitely be on varsity next year. He's got a good work ethic. We need to see him a little bit during the off season, but as long as he continues to work, he'll have some good playing time for us next year and continue to move forward in a positive direction. Last one that we have is Kyler Seymour. He's an offensive MVP for our district, and he was our captain. He was one of our captains on the basketball team. Great player. Expect great things for him next year. Had some good tournaments. Got first team got all tournament team in Denver City, along with Zephaniah Nelson. Both of them got first team or all tournament team there. Had a good off season. He had Midland. He was Midland reporter, first team. Big Country Preps first team, and he was the gym rat for Big Country Preps as well. Great season. Looking forward to his senior year stepping up and moving forward and really taking leadership role even more and just having a great season all around for him and being able to tie it together and finishing off his senior year to have a good one. I'm looking forward to next year. I'm very proud of every one of these guys. I can't wait for off season and the season to start next year and just having a great year and looking forward to what we can accomplish in the future. And lastly, I'd like to thank my assistant coaches, Coach Tuttle, Coach Moss, Coach Bright, for making life easier on me, doing all the little things to help everything go smoothly behind the scenes. And then also my assistants and my trainers, Alec DeHoyos and Jordan Russian, helping with the freshmen, helping Coach Moss every day, and Zach Whitehead, Pablito DeHoyos, and Jeremy Perez, just for making life easier, making sure everything was packed every day and everything was smooth and ready to go for practice. Couldn't do it without those guys, and they make things easier for us. So thank y'all. Go Steers.
Thank you, Coach Haas. And now it's time to hear from our head girls track coach, Coach Jeffrey.
All right, so girls track 2020, obviously our season was cut short, but we had some positive momentum going into the break. We had 47 girls that participated before the break, and that number was probably going to go up before the district track meet. I'm going to go through and read who our participants were. I'm going to group them by class. So in the freshman class, we had April Caldwell, Taylor Partlow, Denia Ryder, Chandra King, Nellie Mendez, Lonnie Mendez, Skylin Rivera, Valerie Barrios, Olive Guillory, Felicity Yanez, Esperanza de los Santos, Emily Matthews, Cadence Canales, Caitlin Haney, Mia Bustamante, Kaylee Fiera, Kyanne Johnson, Courtney Moore, and Valerie Hernandez. That's 19 freshmen that we had compete for us this year. In the sophomore class, we had Alex Enriquez, Kyla Matthews, Savannah Zaraga, Elizabeth Jones, MJ Herrera, Maya Blanco, Melanie Aguilar, Bella Marquez, Amazonique Green, Kaylee Muniz, McKenna Valle, Janiyah Johnson, Kylan Roberts, Zylene Walker, and Abby Delgado. Our juniors for the 2020 season were Gracie King, Jada Vanderbilt, Trika Washington, Shirlene Ortega, Felicity Calderon, Laurie Milgram, Ashlyn Calvio, Alyssa Pullins, and Jacqueline Ballou. I'll get to the seniors after we talk about the season a little bit. Not to beat the dead horse, but obviously our season was cut short, but in that short time, when we compare ourselves to what the teams in our region and our district were doing, Felicity Calderon at the time had the 9th fastest time in the region in the 800-meter run. Mazanique Green had the 3rd fastest time in the 100-meter hurdles. And Alyssa Pullins was the 10th best vaulter in our region at the time. Also, our 4x100 meter relay was 4th in the 4th place time in the region going into the break. The good thing about track is we all have times and distances and marks that we can compare to each other. So we were able to project a district track meet based on what people's season's best times were at the time. And I don't think it's any secret that we would have been projected to be district champs as a team. We also had 5 projected individual district champs, and our 4x1 would have been the district champs also. So we had 4 seniors this year, which is less than half of what we had last year, but they still contributed to our program tremendously. Madison Kirkendall was with us for 4 years. She threw the shot and the disc. She had a medical setback last year, and without that setback, her potential this year would have been even higher. Destiny Kunkel did not do track for a couple of years, but this year she provided us leadership in the off-season that was much needed, and I think it'll serve her well in her future. She was going to help us tremendously in the pole vault and as well as running relays. Kylie Matthews is a girl that's been running track her whole life. She is a consistent runner. She would probably have been an area qualifier in the 200-meter dash. And our last senior is Abby Carrillo. Abby Carrillo is a 300-meter hurdler. In our last track meet, she improved her time significantly. Over the last 2 track meets, she was improving her times significantly, and that's a credit to her and the work that she's put in. So as you can tell with our numbers, we had 19 freshmen and a handful of sophomores and juniors. The potential momentum that we've created this year, even though we weren't able to get an accurate measurement of how we would have done against our competition, these girls have created tremendous momentum moving forward. And they should have a wonderful season next year and compete for a regional championship.
Thank you, Coach Jeffrey. And now for our head boys track coach, Coach Cheney.
I'm the head of the Big Spring men's track program. First thing I want to do is to thank Mr. Morris here for putting this on, the other coaches that are here today to help bring closure to our programs as well as honor the seniors that competed this year for us. Coach Ritchie as well, putting that on for us. I want to thank Coach Denton, Coach Cantu, Coach Tuttle, Shaw, Roberts, and Allen on the men's side of things for putting in tireless work and effort day in, day out. Very appreciative. We wouldn't be able to be where we are as a program without the work that they put in. The track program is unique in that it's a collaborative effort. We have the last 3 coaches that I read off, Roberts, Shaw, and Allen. They actually coach both the men's and women's side of their events, and it brings new challenges and new angles that they have to be aware of, and it's kind of interesting in that respect. I leaned a lot this year on Coach Jeffrey. He was able to lend a hand, give advice whenever I needed it, and I greatly appreciate that. That goes for the entire women's coaching staff. Very, very helpful to us, and I hope that we helped them out when we could. Our track season got cut short due to COVID-19, as we're all aware. Even so, we were able to get a lot of work in. I counted up 31 different after-school track practices that we were able to do. So that's quite a bit of work. We had 1 indoor meet that I took a few kids to. We had 3 team outdoor meets. This year, our basketball team made the playoffs for a few weeks, and that allowed us to see some of our younger guys compete that normally we wouldn't be able to. In junior high, they're used to competing in the 7th grade and then the 8th grade, and then they come up to the high school, and there is no freshman team in track. So the opportunity was gained when basketball went into the playoffs to get them some work, get those younger guys some work, get times, get distances on their jumps, get some marks put in, so that in the future we have a baseline to go off of. So even though we did not have all of that basketball talent that's tied up in the 10th grade early on, we did gain some things by being able to get that freshman and some more of those sophomores on the track when maybe in a different season they wouldn't have been able to be there. So you'll see here in a little bit, my list is kind of long in that at the lower levels. Little peek inside the plan there. The idea was when we got the basketball guys back, I wanted to build them up, make them climb the ranks a little bit, and work towards being varsity track athletes. And that was the goal, and they were definitely on that track. Unfortunately, COVID-19 caused us to not be able to see that plan come to fruition, so they didn't actually get to don a varsity outfit for the most part. But we still, like I said, got to see them in our home meet and at the Don Black Invitational there in Friendship, go against some high-level competition and perform well. So that was good. Our freshman group consisted of, and I'm casting a wide net here. Not all these kids actually made it to a meet, but they were at the majority of those 31 practices that we had, so I still want to recognize them. Here we go. Julian Alanese, Connor Andre, Elijah Burton, Enrique Calderon, Eli Cobos, Josh De La Cruz, Ted Diaz, Raleigh Eddington, Saquon Pfizer, Nick Garcia, Isaac Gonzalez, Josh Gonzalez, Gavin Greathouse, Anthony Hilario, Jesse Hernandez, Leroy Johnson, Ryan Joslin, Carl Carbanoff, Samuel King, Xavier Knox, Katavian Lewis, Devin Manning, Chris Martinez, Isaiah Martinez, Michael Martinez, Philip Martinez, Bobby McCormick, Marcus Melendez, Josh Mireles, Jordan Mitchell, Kagan Mitchell, Corbin Olson, Seth Olson, Arturo Ortiz, Jeremy Perez, Ian Preston, Kevin Cazeta, Kareem Rayford, Kenny Richardson, Andrew Rios, Marco Rios, Frederick Rubio, Jordan Russian, Augustine Salgado, Adrian Solis, Luis Solis, Parker Speck, Owen Trevino, and Edgar Vargas. They performed well this year on the JV level, and we greatly appreciate all the things that they accomplished for us, especially in a season that was cut short and out of their hands. Our varsity group had some great leadership. During the football season, I was working with football, and I had to rely heavily on the leadership from Zachary Shook, particularly, to lead a group of kids on the track every day to get work in during when no other coaches were around. And he did a great job of that, and that's just a glimpse into the leadership qualities that I had from that senior class. The varsity group, I'll go ahead and read off their names, and then I'll try to talk about the seniors individually. Our varsity group that competed this season was Justin Blackwell, and I'll try to read some of their accomplishments off if they had a few good places here and there. Let's start off. Justin Blackwell, Sean Serta, he actually got second place at our last track meet in the triple jump. Dusty Chavez, and I'll come back to him later. Jeremiah Collins, Augie De Los Santos, Damian Franco, Isaiah Johnson, Jabez Jones, Aaron Magianis, Christian Ortega, Vincent Ortiz, Roman Perez, Juan Presas, Andrew Roberts, Isaiah Rodriguez, Brandon Rogers, Orlando Sanchez, Kyler Seymour, Zachary Shook, Athon Villalobos, William Wolverton, and Brandon Zaraga. Now back to some of those accomplishments. Let me just repeat that again. Serta, Sean, he got second in the triple jump at our last home meet. Damian Franco kept growing all season. He was part of the mile relay that finished first. So was Jabez Jones, another great guy that would one day work out with long distance, another day work out with the mid-distance guys. Him and Franco seem to have a great relationship, and I look forward to seeing them grow as seniors next season. Vincent Ortiz was probably one of our fastest guys. He was part of the second place 4x2 as well. Along with that, he got first place in the 200 meters here at our home meet. At the Don Black Invitational against very high competition, he got second in that event. Very impressive. Roman, a lot of people outside throughout the community, if you say the Big Spring track program or cross country for that matter, Roman Perez is well known in that respect. He's our leader by example for sure. In our last meet, he got third in the 800, second in the mile, and second in the 2 mile. He's always putting in effort, and those accomplishments, even though they weren't first place, he was coming off of a sickness as well. So very, very, very impressive. Kyler Seymour, great kid, very self-driven. He consistently places first in high jump. He would have been, as coaches, we all expected him to go far this season after district, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future for us as a senior. William Wolverton was kind of a surprise for me this year. He, day in, day out, he was able to give maximum effort. It almost got to the point where during a quarter around the track, I could count his steps and it would be consistent every single time. That's what you get out of a guy like him. You're going to see high-level effort, and you're going to expect that on track meet day, and that's what you receive. He was part of the second place 4x2 as well as the first place mile relay at our last meet. Now, looking at the seniors specifically, I'm going to save one for the end. But Jeremiah Collins, he was new to track, I would say. He got a start this year in cross country. He's very eager, willing to do anything for the team. I know we were short at hurdlers, and that was the goal for him moving forward with our team, was to work at that, and he would have definitely helped us out in that respect. So Jeremiah Collins, wish him the best in the future. Great kid, great family. Augie De Los Santos, funny story about him. Working with some of the younger guys in the past, I had Augustine Salgado, and I'm used to calling him Augie. Well, he was a freshman this year, and apparently Augie De Los Santos did not take kind to me calling Augustine Augie. He didn't earn that name yet, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But De Los Santos definitely earns a nickname. He's the guy you'll see running around Big Spring with the headband on his head. He always pushed Roman to perform better and better. Great leader, just great attitude out of that guy. Aaron Magianis, him and this other guy, I'll go ahead and say his name, Andrew Roberts. Aaron Magianis and Andrew Roberts. Aaron kind of took Andrew under his wing. Andrew, this was his first year of throwing. Aaron had a little bit of experience with that, and they were very self-led early on, being seniors, and our throwing coaches being tied up in their different sports like powerlifting and such, but them being able to put in the work, always come by, get a shot from me or a discus from me, and being able to go out there and work on their craft. Very self-disciplined, very impressive from them. Like seeing that. Christian Ortega. This was his first year to compete. We were a couple of weeks into the season, and he came up and asked if he could join, and just a great attitude. Cannot think of a more positive person. I believe he said something about he's going into the military. I wish him the best. Really respect him. I know that I put in his name for an award this year, and I expect great things from Christian Ortega. Great kid. Zachary Shook, I talked about him a little bit ago. He at our last track meet, he got fourth in the 100-meter dash, going against very good competition with Midland Christian and such. But again, he led the off season on his own, I would say. He might have had a little bit of help from a junior in Sean Serta, but for the most part, it was his show. He was the head dog there, and I appreciate him taking those freshmen and sophomore kids that were just track and not football or basketball related under his wing and pushing them to become the type of athletes that we need. Great kid. Look forward to seeing him grow in the future, and I wish him the best. Athon Villalobos, great distance guy. He was, again, one of those that was pushing Roman consistently. Very good attitude. Wish him the best. Wish him the best. Brandon Zaraga, he was part of that second place 4x2 at our last meet. He's a machine. I talked about William Wolverton being a very consistent, high-level effort guy. Zaraga is the same thing, and I've seen that throughout his entire career. I remember watching him as an 8th grader in basketball thinking, man, this guy just never gives up. Well, he never lost that spirit, and it showed in the track season, and I really wish we could have seen the rest of the season play out so that we could have seen him grow and be a part of some successful 4x1 relays. The last guy I'm going to talk about here, Dusty Chavez, hands down our leader out there. There's no one else even in his realm. He was part of the second place in the 4x2. He was part of the first place mile relay run. That was the way that we capped off our season. At our home meet, we had, of course, everybody knows that a track meet ends in the mile relay. And we were facing a very good and a very impressive Midland Christian team. And we got good legs out of Franco and Wolverton and Jabez Jones. And then comes Dusty, and he's got a little bit of a lead, and he was able to hold off Midland Christian's top dog and out-compete him. I mean, it was like watching a fist fight on the track in a way, and he definitely came out on top. Very impressive, and he's got a great family. I look forward to seeing what life holds for Dusty Chavez. But again, we hate that our season got cut short. I know I've said that about 55,000 times, but the future's bright here in Big Spring, and we appreciate it. We appreciate y'all's support. We appreciate y'all coming to our meets. We appreciate y'all supporting our athletes, and please do so in the future. Thank you. Go Steers.
Thank you, Coach Cheney. And now let's meet our head girls softball coach, Coach Jordan.
All right, we started our season at 7-11, playing in several 5 and 6A tournaments. We had the potential to three-peat a district championship this year. We had a lot of young kids, and they stepped up and took care of it. We have 8 underclassmen. So we're going to start with our JV, and that was coached by Mark Lozano, who is new with us this year. He's very motivated and knows the game and skill, and works really well with the kids. So on JV, we had Tori Sanchez, Abriel Nuno, Marley Kennedy, Gracie Rodriguez, Anastasia Rodriguez, Ashley Sarmiento, Adelie Hernandez, Maria Cervantes, McKenna Valle, Yali Melendez, and Jordan Edmondson. Most of those kids are sophomores and freshmen, and are very motivated and show up and work hard every day, so we're really excited about that. We have our varsity, which with me I had Coach Bryant as my assistant. Has a passion for coaching and is such a blessing to me and our team. He goes above and beyond for our program every day, and especially since all this COVID stuff that's happened. So start with our freshmen. We have Elena Arredondo, Michaela Vela, Sully Vela, and Giselle Holguin, and all four of them played random positions. I threw them out there and just always had a smile on their face and worked hard all the time. Our sophomores are Brindley Watkins, Vanessa Villasana, Kylie Lynch, Kaylin Whitehead, and all of them moved up this year and had to step up and take positions. And most of them, those are our three pitchers in there, Brindley, Kaylin, and Vanessa, and just took turns on the mound and did a great job all the time. Our juniors were Sarah Wood, Trinity Ramirez, and Jocelyn Gonzalez. And those kids really had to step up because our seniors were hurt most of the year, so our juniors really had to take over and be our leaders, and they did a really good job of that. We had Jocelyn hitting about 500 this year, so she's ready to just lead our team, and most of our kids have been going to summer workouts, like through Zoom and stuff. So, and then our managers, we had Maddie Miller, Rebecca Granados, and Anthony Morrow, which couldn't do anything without them. And then to our seniors, both of them were hurt this year. Unfortunately, they couldn't play the season, but were a huge reason of our past successes and why the future looks so bright. Maddie Daniels was one of them, was the MVP of our district last year and All-State. She had a passion for the game and was a fighter and competitor, played with injuries last year. And then Amber Martinez is a kid you wish you had 100 of. She works hard all the time, pushes herself and her team to be great, and she pushed herself in all sports. So she was both of them were blessings to have on our team. So so that wraps up our team. Like I said, we had 8 underclassmen playing on varsity this year, and we have a lot of young kids on JV ready to come up. So we look to have a very strong season next year and hopefully get that 3rd district championship.
Thank you, Coach Jordan. And now let's meet our final head coach, or let's just say the coach of the defending district champions.
Hey guys, it's Coach Carrillo. I want to spend this time and say thank you to all the people that have supported us in the Big Spring Baseball program. I want to start off with the coaches, Coach Bogle, Coach Felton, Coach Harmon, and our athletic trainer, Stephanie Bledsoe. Thank you for all the time that you've spent with these kids, help them grow on and on off the field. I want to thank our Baseball Booster Club for all the support they have given us, helping us raise money, everything that we've done these past 4 years. It's a big thanks to them. I also want to thank the players, obviously, for their sacrifice of their time, their commitment to this program. I know we didn't get to end the way we wanted to, but I know in my heart we're headed to the right direction. As for the underclassmen, I just want to say thank you. I'm excited about our future. Our JV and varsity, we're very loaded with a lot of sophomores, freshmen, and a few juniors. It's a good thing to have. I think our future is very, very bright. We just got to continue to work hard and and I know y'all will, and I can't wait to see y'all again. As for the underclassmen, I want to say thank you. I'm excited about working y'all for the near future. After you lose 9 seniors the previous year, we were a very young program this year, and it excites me to be able to know that our future is very, very bright, and I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you guys. Next, I want to thank our seniors, Timothy Banks, Dylan Guzman, Tristan Wright, Joshua Wood, and Anthony Sarmiento. You guys are, like I've told y'all before, y'all are the foundation of this program. When I first got here, you guys were freshmen, and to see y'all grow, the fine young men that you guys are, you're a special place in my heart. And if you ever need anything, you know where to find me. I can't wait to see what you do next in your next chapter of your life, but I know it's going to be great things. Last, I know our season got cut short. I know it didn't get to end the way we wanted it to, but like we've always said, don't tell me how bad the water is, just bring the boat. We'll make adjustments, and we'll fight through this. I wish there was a better way to send you guys off, but deep down, I've talked to each one of y'all individually and how much I love y'all and the whole team. And as far as the youngsters, I can't wait to see you, work with you again. Hopefully we get a lot sooner than later. Just want to say thank you for everybody that's helped us. This program couldn't be nothing without you guys and without you guys' support, and we look forward to the next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Creo. Seniors, I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've meant to this athletic program. Thank you for carrying the torch from last year's seniors, and thank you for passing the torch to our underclassmen that will be competing in the year 2021. You have meant so much to your coaches, you've meant so much to this high school, you've meant so much to me personally, your teachers, and we wish you the very best. We know that this has been unfortunate times and circumstances for you, but through it all and through athletics, we know that because of it, you will rise to future challenges, future adversity, and be the champions that you are today. So again, thank you, seniors. In conclusion, I know many of you have probably seen or have been watching the Michael Jordan documentary that's called The Last Dance on ESPN. The other evening when I watched the last episode, he said something that stuck in my mind, and it's a challenge for each and every one of you, including you, seniors, as you depart and move on to your future endeavors and goals, but also to our underclassmen as you continue, like I said a moment ago, to carry the torch of this athletic program. But he made a profound statement that's a challenge for us all. When he arrived in Chicago, as he stated, it was a horrible situation. Michael Jordan didn't do a whole lot of talking. He let his actions speak for himself. He put it like this: someone had to light the match. That's all he said. And he went to work and built a dynasty. So my challenge to you seniors, my challenge to our underclassmen is exactly that. Who out there is going to light the match and take this program till we know that championship level? Why not you? Have a great evening, Steer Nation. We look forward to the 2021 school year and a year of competition. Seniors, we love you. Best of luck to you. Go Steers.
Keep us all as one through